And here we go.
We looked up and there was a plane. Next thing you know, we heard boom. We ran up to the corner and hit right into the World Trade Center.
Tony, can you tell us what kind of an airplane is it?
It had to be a 737 had to hit the World Trade Center. It was a big, big plane.
You need to take a break.
Okay, and what do you see at this point?
Oh, smoke and screaming and, screaming engines and all the fire engines and police departments are all traveling down that way. Oh, my God almighty, the black smoke all over the place. I hope nobody, there's got to be somebody killed in it, poor people that went to work.
Well, Tony, we don't have any confirmation from any officials of this happening. Just repeat again, you were just going outside.
I was bringing the garbage out to the freight entrance when we heard this roaring engine. We looked up and there was the plane. Next thing we know, in a matter of seconds, we heard a boom. We went to the corner and there it was right in the middle of the World Trade Center.
Where are you standing right now, Tony?
I'm right in the building right now.
Okay, and what do you see at this point?
Oh, people all staring up there, looking at it and all. Oh my God, the smoke is coming out. Black billow smoke.
Okay, you can see we are physically looking at one of our sky cams right now. We can see billowing smoke from the top of the World Trade Center, Tony.
Yeah.
Are there other people that are around you at this point? Is everybody in pretty much the state of shock?
Oh, of course they are. People are all in shock. The people in the building are in shock going out. My God almighty, this is a real disaster. This is worse than the one that hit the Empire State Building back in 1939 or 38, whenever that was.
Tony, how long ago did you witness this happening?
Oh, come on, 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
That's about all.
All right. Hello, everybody.
You need to take a break.
The black smoke all over the place.
Hold on, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Take a break.
All right. Hello, everybody. It is Sunday. It is February the 12th, 2023. And this is the Fakeologist Show. We do this show Sunday through Thursday at around 8 to 8:30 p.m. usually. But on Sundays, whenever there is a European in the house, we start early because it's late over there, 6 hours. And we have a very special show tonight. The reason you hear that song, it's Simon recommended the song. It's actually one of my favorite songs, and I played it many times, anytime Simon Shack of cluesforum.info or septemberclues.info has come on. So that means Simon is in the house. We have a special show tonight, this afternoon, where we're going to talk to Simon, and we're going to also talk to Steve Diak. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm going to get his pronunciation in one sec. So without further ado, I'm going to pod down the fantastic song Take a Break and say hello first to Simon in Rome, Italy. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Eb. Nice to talk to you again.
Fantastic to hear from you. And Steve, hello. How are you? You are in Lower Washington State. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is long overdue. And I'm really glad you're both on. Can you just pronounce your last name so I don't butcher it again, please?
Yeah, I go by Dayok. I like to say it's the opposite of Nighthawk.
Dayok. I got it. Dayok. Okay, good. So there's a little pause, and that's where the comma is.
Well, apostrophe. It's supposed to be an accent, but the typewriters in Ellis Island didn't have them, so it became an apostrophe, wreaking havoc on computers all around the world.
All right, fantastic. Well, I'm just going to put up the world famous September Clues up onto FakeoTube as soon as I can find it. And I am going to make it the pinned video. I only have one pinned video at the very top, and I'm going to put that at the top. So anyone who's listening who doesn't know what we're talking about can easily find it. You can just type in September Clues or fake11.com/SC Sienna Charlie, and that will bring up the September Clues movie plus all the addendums, and you can get a complete show, and give yourself a couple hours to go through it because it is fantastic. and it is, of course, saved forever, hopefully, on FacoTube. On FacoTube, it has 42,000 views I'm seeing here. So let me just bring it over on the screen. That.
Yeah, it really is an impressive movie. I recommend watching it to everyone.
Fantastic. So, Simon, we're going to talk with Steve. And Steve, your website is, I believe, 9/11 Crash Test.
Yep, 911crashtest.org.
Test.org. And let me repeat or tell everyone who may have been listening to me since the beginning of time, and I've been on the air since 2012. And Steve Dayok was my first guest ever.
Oh, really?
And you were my first interview ever too, so I was scared shitless.
And I was too, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just playing a talk show host because I really like talk show hosts. I really like talk shows, so I pretended I was a talk show host because there was this neat software online called TalkShoe, and I thought, wow, they've done everything. All you have to do is just show up, and you can be a talk show host and take calls and read chats. So it was fantastic. So yeah, so we were both. Let me just play a little bit of it. I'm going to put this in the show note tonight. I want to play a bit of it, see what it sounded like.
Good grief! Yeah, we were talking about how we don't like hearing our own voices.
Yeah. This is my intro, which was Guns N' Roses.
I love that intro. Yeah.
I actually still like it. It's a great song. Let's see how long I let the intro go. That'll be show note number 1. And the audio quality is kind of low because it was at 8 bits per second. And how much longer I have to put up with this intro? Okay, there's me. There's me 11 years ago. Okay, anyway, you guys can listen later, but that was me. Oh, let's just hear your voice real quick. What do you sound like? Okay, so that's you, Steve. So there's a few unrehearsed clips there from the show.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I couldn't hear anything. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
You didn't hear any of that?
No.
Oh, just now? Oh my gardens. Hold on a sec. That's
No, I heard it. It's okay.
You heard it, but you didn't, Steve.
Dirty Benny didn't either on the chat.
Okay. Wow, we're in great shape today. Audio output.
Oh dear.
Okay. Well, that's
It's okay. I don't need to hear myself. That's fine.
Okay, we hear nothing. Well, that's redonkulous. Okay. Well, I can't really have that. That's going to be a huge problem. Well, we'll keep talking until I can figure it out. So
Yeah. Well, I heard everything.
you
on
can
my
hear
side.
that, but Dirty Benny can't hear anything. Oh, that's amazing.
Strange.
And he's on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Can
couldn't
you
hear
both
the
hear
audio
me
from
now?
the video.
Well, let me just see if I'm coming through. I hate technical problems. Okay, we're coming through on the audio, but not on the video. That's interesting.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Well,
let's start talking. Let's just, and I'll get this worked out as we go. But let's just start talking. So,
so Simon,
how are you?
I'd like to at least bury the hatchet. We've had some rough communications over chats where we bait each other and ad hominem names and what have you. I'd like to put all that behind us because really, I sat down knowing that we were going to have this chat. It had been a long time since I've seen September Clues, probably 10 years, and so
Okay.
I sat down to watch the whole thing again, and I was just gobsmacked at how good it is. Again, I mean, I remember that watching it. But how did you really? Didn't you release it in segments at first?
Yes, the first segment I think was in 2007, and I put it on. I didn't put it on YouTube because I already suspected that YouTube might, ban me.
Yeah.
At the time, it's funny. I had this intuition. They have now banned every single September Clues
Yep.
uh,
They sure
episode
have.
of YouTube. You know.
Yep.
But I put it on live video, which is now a dead. It was called livevideo.com, and it was a a video portal just like YouTube but much smaller.
Hmm.
And and then I put 10 minutes of the first part because you only could upload like 10 minutes. So I did it in 10 minutes sections.
Uh-huh.
So I put up September Clues A, and then September Clues B, and September Clues C, and finally up to 9. I think it was 9 sections, and suddenly the view counts started really soaring on this live video portal. So much so that September Clues A became the #1 most watched video in Italy, where I live. Yeah.
Remarkable.
And like a week after, the whole live video disappeared. The whole portal closed.
Yeah, you struck a nerve somewhere, apparently.
No, I don't want. I mean, it's an anecdote, but I don't think it was because of that. But this is a fact I remember. And so I started uploading it on YouTube, and I was surprised that YouTube, let it go, and then I did the whole thing in the whole video in one stream, like 1.5 hours, 90
Mhm.
minutes, and I put it up, and it started really going very fast. I mean, I ended up having almost 1 million
Mhm.
views. And then in March 2018, much later, they decided to close it down. They said it's hate speech. September Clues is hate speech.
Yeah,
according
yeah, I get that too. A lot of my videos are the same. And it
to-
was right around the same time when they started really cracking down.
Mhm.
And
So
hate
yeah.
speech and that is going to become a bigger and bigger thing as time goes by, as we move into this communitarian hellscape.
Oh,
Hate
yeah,
speech
yeah.
is anything that the authorities do not approve. That's
Right,
really
right.
what it means.
It,
That's
it's
all it means.
loosely defined, anything they don't like. Yep.
Anything that is antithetical to the tyranny from above. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
it's so funny in the case of September Clues because I don't even speak in
Yeah, that's
September
right.
Clues.
That's right.
I
It's
don't even speak, and I don't do any
it's hate.
politics.
Yeah, it's hate pantomime.
I know. It's just it's amazing that they can apply that to anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, September Clues. The only people speaking are the TV anchors
And the
yeah.
actors and the
and
lie
the actors.
witnesses.
I'm
Yeah,
not speaking.
How
I'm not saying
hateful of you.
anything.
that is true. Actually, those hateful actors, they're
Yeah.
terrible. And it's funny, Simon, you wanted me to play Tony at the beginning, and that
Mm,
piece you picked called "Take a Break" off the September Clues soundtrack. And that's
mm,
one of my favorite aspects about September Clues is probably the soundtrack, truth be told.
okay.
And that's one of my favorite tracks with Tony there. He's clearly reading
Yeah,
into
Tony
he's-
the garbage man. Tony
yeah,
the garbage man. He was just
Is that who that was?
I didn't even know who that was. I did.
he was one
Sounds
of
so darn New York.
the funniest crisis actors, probably. He
I'm gonna look that up.
he was instructed to say that he had seen the plane. He was instructed to say that he saw lots of smoke, black smoke,
Black smoke
billowing,
everywhere. Yeah, big deal. Yeah.
rising, going up. So, what was that black smoke he was talking about? Because going up, it's coming. The smoke is coming up. So he was instructed to say that though there was smoke, probably around the towers going upwards, and it had nothing to do with any plane crash up in the 90th story.
Did you get
So-
that off the Naudet Brothers movie by any chance? Because I'm trying to find. I just typed in Tony 9/11 witness, and I'm trying to see where it is.
No, but this was, an interview of this guy 10 minutes after, apparently, 10 minutes after the plane hit. And he somehow called the CBS, or was it NBC, and talks with this anchor woman, television anchor woman. And that's what we hear at the beginning of this podcast. Go back and listen. And he says, "Oh, there's black smoke. There's lots of black smoke." And that was the part he had to play. He had to. He had to. He was very important because he was one of the first witnesses of the day, right? So I consider him quite important as a fake witness, because what had to be implanted in the minds of everyone, not only of New Yorkers but of the whole world, but obviously to New Yorkers who were nearby, was that there was smoke. Yes, there was smoke. So people must have asked themselves, why was there smoke around the towers? Why were the towers not visible at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning? Because they were already enveloped in smoke. They had smoke machines. And that's my final conclusion of my research for that I've carried on for so many years. It was the simplest magic trick imaginable.
Yes.
A smoke screen is the oldest trick in the military book. You raise a smoke screen around a place you want to attack, and no one understands anything. No one can react or anything, and then you play out your game. Smoke screens are the oldest trick in the military book. I repeat. So it was an extremely easy trick to play. The only problem they had was that some people might have protested and said, "Oh well, come on! I saw. Why did I see smoke around the towers before the planes came? Well, yeah, maybe someone would have filmed at before 8:46 when the first plane supposedly struck. Maybe someone would have filmed at 8:30. Okay, the towers for some reason. Well, he would have filmed a view of the towers enveloped in some little haze, and some smoky, so they couldn't see the towers. So maybe he would have run then to the police and said, "Look, I filmed the towers. They were enveloped in smoke at 8:30 before the first plane came. How come? How come I filmed that?" Well, where would he go to? How could he prove that he had filmed that at that moment, at that exact time of day? Because he would have had to show that his timestamp on his camera was correctly set, and so on. So I'm just doing this monologue I'm sorry if I talk too much now, but I'm just going to set this up. Set this up. No, I'm going to just make a very short summary of what I think happened that day. They raised a smoke screen around the World Trade Center, and no one saw anything of any importance. So they brought down with dynamite, like they always bring down all buildings in America. In a few seconds, of course, they fell down, but no one filmed anything. Everything was and of course, we have lots of videos with Manhattan enveloped in smoke for the whole day, from morning to dusk. Okay, that we have lots of videos. So and it was an enormous amount of smoke. Where did that smoke come from? If it wasn't artificial, it had to be artificial, because no building collapses ever have the dust remaining suspended for more than 15 minutes. But on that day, the smoke over lower Manhattan persisted for the whole bloody day, from the morning to dusk. So it must have been artificial smoke. It couldn't be just the dust of a couple of buildings, or some more, because some more were damaged. So I stop here and I give the word to Steve.
Let me just tell the YouTube audience, because I have to shut YouTube off now because we might get into some hate speech. I don't know if we've already had some hate speech on the show. So I'm going to shut my YouTube feed off. If you want to listen to the rest of this great interview, and it's going to be great if it isn't already, just go to fakotube.com, and this is FAK671.